And we are live. You can catch us on Twitch, Facebook. I feel like I'm just always repeating myself. I get that.
The beginning.
I'm on Twitch, Rumble,
You know what?
Facebook.
We're gonna do a little different. I'm Rico. He's Jacob. This is
No. We still gotta go into the beat. You gotta hear the beat first though. But we're live. Catch us on YouTube. Everybody just go to YouTube. Even if you're on Instagram, go to YouTube. Like and subscribe. We are fully monetized right now, but we'll be right back with you, howlers. We'll be right back. I'm gonna go to this. Where is? Go back.
No, you're on. You're on.
How's over Baz? I'm Jacob Casas.
I'm Rico Savage.
And I'm Jessica Q.
And this episode is called Road to Monetization. And again, like we're live. And again, for the people that didn't watch the last episode, and we got a lot of new viewers even on Instagram right now. So everybody on Instagram, if you could do me a favor and go to YouTube, How's Over Baz YouTube.
That's 2 A's, by the way.
2 A's. It's HOWLS over OVER Baz BAAZ, and go to our live section. You can see this video live. Well, please like and subscribe. And just letting you guys know, we are fully 100% monetized now by YouTube. So for people that didn't watch our 5 o'clock episode, this whole episode is going to be about our monetization.
And the road to getting there.
Yeah, because I mean, only 8% of the world is monetized by YouTube, so that's a big deal that we're monetized right now. But it took a lot of work and a lot of money to do that. But I wanted to.
You felt it?
I was like, damn.
Real quick, he was like, a lot of money.
Just to say that gave me heartburn. You know?
Yeah.
Not the heartburn.
But I do want to start out a little bit I'm going to give the little rundown of how I did this for people that want to know how to get monetized on YouTube. And then we're going to, at the end, we'll start talking about the howler community that we're going to start building. And we already have our first howler. Well, they're actually pay monthly subscription in our YouTube. We have our Baz. We have 3 tiers in YouTube right now. We have the Baz tier, the howler tier, and the ultimate howler tier. So the Baz tier is $2.99 a month. The howler tier. Let me look at it. Keep talking, guys. While I'm doing this.
And the howler tier is $2.99, and then you have the top one. Was that $24.99?
$24.99.
$24.99.
Yeah. How much is the howler? Just the regular $9.99?
The howler is, I think. Let me look. Just keep talking.
$6.99, $2.99. Okay. So basically, the more money you pay, the more access you get to us, and then you know what I mean, behind the scenes and actual merch too. So we're gonna start giving merch out. As far as from shirts to keychain lanyards to stickers to Jacob's face. You know what I mean. You can put it on the back of your MacBook like that. You know what I mean. You can have his face. But this episode, like he was saying, is just about how we got here, what it took, the time, the process. You know what I mean? And it's not all easy because nowadays everybody wants to have a podcast and they just think it's just like a camera and just you're talking.
Yeah, it is not
with your
easy.
friend. It's not that. It's not. That's
and you're
not
gonna
how
spend
it
a
goes.
lot of money.
Yeah.
So there's so much to it. Yeah.
So let me break this down a little bit. We're gonna all talk, but I'm gonna go over the very beginning of how I started this podcast, and then how Rico came in, how Jessica came in, and even how Ronnie came in. No, Ronnie's not here right now, guys. But so I kind of wanted to give a little rundown. So I was gonna start this podcast with a couple of friends. Well, let's back up even a little more. I was on somebody's podcast, and it went really well. And for people that know me, I just really
cook.
I just tell the truth because it's hilarious. So like, I would just tell it like it is. And when I went on that podcast, he was saying that a lot of people were telling the story of how great their businesses and all the great things that they did in business. I talked about all the shitty things and how I almost lost my business. They were like blown away by how I was very honest about. I mean, business is hard. So when everybody comes in talking about how great they are in business, it's all bullshit because it took a long time and a lot of effort and a lot of time to get there. So I was talking about all the hardships and all the bad things and how hard it was and how I almost lost the business 3 different times and how it affects you with friends, family, everything. There's nobody that has your back when you're starting a business. So I was going through all that, and then they were just kind of looking at me blown away, and people were saying, man, you should do one, because people were listening to it, and they loved it. Shout out to Luis, by the way. He's the one that I went on his podcast. It was called Applying Purpose, and he's the one that sold me this equipment that we have here in the studio. He doesn't do his podcast anymore, but that gave me a lot of like insight, and it was really cool. So I decided to do one like 2 years later, and I was getting told to do one for a long time. I decided to do it, and I talked to a couple friends. Ronnie was one of them, and we decided to say, okay, I want to do this. I'm trying to push everybody to get it rolling. A lot of times people are just not on the same page. So I had this office in here, and I decided to turn it into a studio. We were using it for like a lot of storage. I have my own business. It's a diesel repair company called Fix It Diesel. That's where we have my studio in one of the offices. So I decided to build into a studio. It costs a lot of money. Just know if you're gonna build a studio and pay, because you got to pay monthly fees to all the different platforms that you're gonna go live on, or you're gonna put your podcast on your episodes. You got to pay all these monthly fees. Like the first time I probably put all this out, everything cost. I probably paid about $20,000 for all of this. Not all at once, but it took about that. Like now, I don't even know what I'm at. I have to pay monthly even more now, but it costs a lot of money to start a podcast. So people that think it's not going to cost, it's going to cost.
Yeah, if you want to have a good podcast, of course.
Right.
You can have a podcast that is like you're just in your living room with, your phone, but that doesn't ever like.
There's levels to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not
Depends
good
on where you wanna
quality,
take it.
and yeah.
Well, the whole thing is like only 8% of podcasts of YouTubers are monetized. So most of the people are not monetized. And I've already learned that they say there's like 1 million podcasts right now, but only 500,000, so only half of them are even putting out more than 3 episodes. So those other ones are just dead, just laying in there. Their podcast is over. They don't do more than 3. Even there's a bunch of I've been dealing with so many different people, and they even talk about how they have podcasts like these people are filthy rich. They have all the money in the world, and they want to start a podcast. They build a whole studio, like state-of-the-art studio and all that, and they do like 1 or 2 podcasts, and that's it. So they put all this money into it because they want to do it because it's a fad.
They're basically bored.
And because everybody's doing
Their
it,
favorite person is doing it.
But it folds. They put all that money into it, and for someone like us, we would have utilized every aspect of that, But so back up a little more again. I was doing this with Ronnie.
Well, didn't you say you started it like you were going to start it with Dev first?
Yeah,
or something like that?
Devin, and Ronnie. Devin ended up coming through. He didn't want to do it, and then me and Ronnie started doing it, and it was wild to sit here and have a conversation about like stuff like this. We're not used to that. We're more like we just know we've been around each other so long. I kind of want to explain that. I think I should get into that a little bit. I feel like a lot of friends don't talk like really have deep conversations with each other. We more just kind of know each other so well because we know each other for so long that we wouldn't have intimate conversations. It would just be like if we saw something that we understood, we would both just look at each other and just know. That's just kind of how we are. We'd more like bullshit and party or hang out or go to family function type deal things like that. Mm-hmm. Never deep conversation. So it was awkward sitting up here and trying to have a conversation. We both thought it'd be like really easy, but it was awkward because we're like, damn, like we never did it like this before. We felt real corny because we're not those kind of people. But I thought that I'm just going to be honest. I think there's so many fucking nerds doing podcasts, and I was like kind of tired of hearing these nerds talk because they talk about shit that's not it's real to them, but it's not the rest of the world. Yeah. Like the people that I hang out with aren't geeks like these guys. on fucking podcasts.
Worse and worse.
Talking.
The cheap, like, hey.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm kind of like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like,
When he says that, he doesn't. He just that's just another word of saying corny to him. Like he doesn't actually mean like nerd.
no, I mean
Yeah.
nerds. I mean,
He does,
fucking nerds.
but it just means like corny shit. Like you're talking about something that nobody's ever gonna. You know what I mean? Like shit that's not going on in the world. That's,
Well, what I'm saying is they talk like even the dating and relationship ones that I was getting into the fresh and fit. I thought was cool. I still like the guys, right? But that's their point of view because they were fucking nerds, right? So since they were nerds, that's how they couldn't get women,
yeah.
and that's why they think of women so the way they think of them.
yeah, because they never had it before.
Yeah, they never had it. It's like we grew up like in a different era where we had to go up in dating. We had to go up to the girl. We had no choice. Or you ain't gonna talk to them. There's no Instagram or anything like
For real.
that. So we're starting from kindergarten doing this shit. You know what I mean? These guys probably just never even did that. They were just doing Instagram and all that stuff.
Everything's with social media now. You can't go. I mean, before you have to go up to the door or call and actually
Yeah.
like fucking talk, not like,
Everything's
write
through
them a message
social
and
media.
shit.
Hide behind a phone.
Right.
Basically.
So I just kind of kept seeing that, and I was like, I'm like, these guys. How are these guys on podcasts talking about this? Like, it is not a lie, but it's their point of view. And I feel like there was nobody on podcasts talking about a point of view where, like, okay, so you either had to be this is kind of how I looked at things. Like, you either had to be rich to have our point of view, but we're not rich.
We'll
You
just
know what I
think through
mean?
it like we
So
have.
it's but at the same time, you don't have to be rich to
Right.
to have that point of view, because they're thinking you have to be rich to get this or to do that or to have these experiences. You don't.
Nah,
You just had to have balls to not fucking be a scared little like.
bitch.
Yeah, that's basically what it is, man. Like, that's how I look at it. So I was talking to Ronnie about it, and me and Ronnie, honestly, we didn't even really care about podcasts. We didn't really watch them. I started watching them because of that. So I started seeing Andrew Tate and different things, and Joe Rogan, and all these different clips started coming up. And I was already in the process of doing this, and I was kind of like, oh, these guys are pretty cool, you know what I mean? But so we decided to do it and have our own aspect on it, because I feel like even different parts of like the United States, people are just different.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you go to New York, people are different.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, let's see our point of view, and then I'm not here I'm just trying to explain. Like, we would go to parties or bars or wherever we would go, me and my friends, and a lot of the people around would just kind of gather around us because of the shit we talked about. We were just talking.
It's that vibe that you
Yeah,
get from certain people. You know what I mean?
So we knew we had something for that, and then so when we first did the podcast, it was kind of weird for us. We were telling our stories, explaining things. To me, I look back and they're corny as hell, but it was cool because it was the experience of trying to figure it out, you know. So we started figuring it out.
Process.
Yeah, it was the process, and then I hit up. Actually, we ran into Shadi and Malachi. Shadi came in here with his family, and shout out to Diamond Studios, and we went live for the first time, and it was dope. Like, it kind of changed our whole aspect of how we do things, because we weren't even that good to even go live. You know what I mean? It was like there were so many mistakes and
You
so
gotta
much
start
stuff.
somewhere though, right?
Yeah, so we're like, you know what? Screw it. We're gonna go live, and we've been going live ever since.
So wait, did you go live the first time?
No.
Oh, so in the beginning
We had
it was
like
pre-recorded.
9 episodes. They're all pre-recorded.
And you could tell the difference too. Like if you see even the setup, even the lighting, everything.
Everything's
Even the way they dress, like it was. It's like little kids growing up. You know what I mean? They're both just sitting there, like they're both sitting there like this, side by. But it was side by
was
side
different.
talking. It was the whole thing was
Yeah.
different. And it's growth though. You know what I mean? You've seen the whole growth of what it is from then to now.
You guys evolved.
It was dope.
Yeah, we had our first one, and we were nervous. Don't get me wrong. And we had Ali. Shout out to Ali. He was doing the editing and stuff, so he was kind of behind the. We were just using 2 to 3 phones to record the whole session. That's how we started, and it was cool. I mean, we were still nervous, and we had no idea how it was going to be to go live. So then, we'll fast forward a little bit. We did that, and then we started wanting to do one because we were doing entrepreneurs. So we kept bringing entrepreneurs in here, business owners, leaders. That's what House Over Baz is about. But we wanted to dive into the world of relationships too. The relationships from our point of view. And I almost feel like from a, not saying our point of view was right, you know, my point of view was really
Right.
effed up at that time. You know what I mean? Like it was just wild. Like I was drinking. For everybody that knows, I'm not drinking anymore. So my whole point of view, seeing me on camera changed a lot of things I wanted to change about myself as well. So that was kind of cool too. But yeah. So we wanted to see how a dating would go within the entrepreneur side of things. Like, how do they pick women as a business owner? And when you start really thinking about it, like, I'll just get into this a bit. You guys can jump in on this, but dating as a business owner is different. I feel it's just a lot different because I would say for me, I'm not going to say for everybody.
For time and everything, the time you have to, you know what I mean? And then just what you want to deal with. Because the position you're in, like when they call, what's the word they use now? High value?
High value, yeah.
You know
I don't even like that word, man.
Like, so,
that's like so lame to me.
Right, so
But
it's
yeah.
just, when you're...
We're going to say howlers over here.
When you're at a howler value, you know, that's a good one.
I love that.
So you see things differently, you know what I mean? Is you have more, options. And that's what anybody, guys or girls, you have more options depending on what status you have as an entrepreneur. So it's different from that person who doesn't have all that stuff to an entrepreneur. So we get it though, but some of the nerds don't get it.
Yeah, well, I even think like I learned a lot by doing the podcast because I was kind of like, I mean, Rico knows how I was. I was just out there doing my thing. I didn't care. And when you start seeing yourself and kind of like evaluating, because you're talking about this shit on camera, so you start evaluating yourself, and you're like, damn, like. And then I stopped drinking. You start really thinking like, damn, is this what you really want?
It totally changed.
And you see all these, like, I'll be honest, all these ratchets that were on the show. And I was like, God, and you know how I was. But then I started thinking, God, these girls are annoying the shit out of me now. Like, how is it so different from one day to the next? And I don't know how that happened, but it just did.
Your mindset was different. Shit, with the alcohol, you accepted more. You didn't give, like you say, you didn't give a fuck. Like, I mean. That's what it was.
And everything. I mean, let's ask Jessica too. You're a business owner, entrepreneur.
Wait, did you ever watch before you came on?
No,
I never asked that question.
Actually, I did not watch. No, I believe it happened all within a day that I ended up coming to be on the show. So I didn't see anything. I didn't really know what the show was about, but I was referred by a friend, and I was running for mayor. So every opportunity I had to get out there, I was like, okay, well, I'll do it. And I know he like put us in a 3-way text, and you were like, hey, can you come today at 5? And I'm like, look at my calendar. I'm like, yes, I can be there. And I was here, and, you know, so I didn't know anything about it. But when I got in here and you guys, like, explained it, I was like, okay, this is so perfect for me because I am a wolf. I am not scared. I will do anything. The only fear I have is God. So when that means nothing's going to stop me, you know what I mean? I'm just going to keep going. So, yeah.
She's more... she has more strength than men. I mean, to run for mayor, and she was literally the only other candidate, was pretty fucking wild to me. I was like, damn. And there was not even a man running for mayor. So, I mean, to put yourself out there, that said a lot. And I was tripping out on that. So people like, that's some howler shit right there.
Oh,
hardcore.
Yeah. I went up against the good old boys. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty intense.
Well, there's over 300,000 people in that city. That's like, says fucking a lot. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to say then. So like you as an entrepreneur, because how did you look for people to date as an entrepreneur?
Oh, God. Dating for me
dun, dun, dun.
has always been the worst. Because, you know, it's hard. Because a lot of times, you know, I've got a business. I've got money. So I would always get hit up like I'm a sugar mama, you know what I mean? These sugar babies that want somebody. I got hit on a lot by a lot of younger guys. You know, obviously they want to be taken care of, I guess. Yeah, dating has just really been tough for me. It's always been really tough. Because I'm also, like, really strong-minded, too, you know, and I need somebody that's just as strong as I am. I can't be with somebody that, you know, is weak-minded, isn't motivated. Because once you bring something to the table, like, you either need that same level or more, you know, as a woman. That's what I feel like, especially a woman, you know. And I do definitely push myself to the limit in everything that I do. So when I, you know, to have a partner, I want to make sure I have somebody that...
Did you, like, actually, like, fall into that? Like kind of like accepting. Like like I know he only can do this much and this much, but I can do this much. I'm just gonna accept it just to have somebody there type shit. Because we all fall.
No, I never
what I mean?
settle.
Like, never settled.
No, I'm not a settler. I would always. I'm real quick. It'd either be 2 weeks and done.
One and done.
Because I would know. Because I would know in 2 weeks. It's like it's no person. Obviously, you're looking for red flags or green flags or whatever flags. Seeing what they're about. What their heart is really saying. You know what I mean? I'm looking deeper and. Or 2 years, because then either they fooled me or, I thought maybe there was potential, but yeah.
How was your podcast? Like, did you have any? Like,
let them know you got your own podcast.
Yes, I do. I have What's Up Inland Empire, and it's a podcast all about local leaders, local businesses, local events. I love bringing the community together and helping people. So it was my way and my business's way of giving back to the community. So NV Media would fund the podcast to bring on like resources for the community. So like our last guest, he was talking about first-time buyers buying homes. I actually brought a lady on that was talking about how you could buy your first home and how you can get a down payment for free through the city, the government. But yeah, I did pause my show. So when you're talking about that, I was like, "Fuck, I need to get my show back on." But I did pause it while I was running because I just didn't have time. I really had to get focused. So I had my last episode aired, I think, the beginning of January. So it's been kind of a couple months since. But
get back on it. I think our schedule is open for appearances. You know what I mean?
So
whenever you guys need somebody.
We actually recorded an episode in my studio.
Yeah, we recorded an episode in our studio.
It's pretty nice.
It's dope.
Pretty nice.
Yeah, her
nice
whole spot's dope. Yeah.
Downtown Riverside. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Mm-hmm. So where do you want to see your podcast go?
Where do I want to see my podcast go? Ultimately, it would just be great to, be monetized, to have sponsors, but also like the sponsors that I want to bring on, I want them to realize that they're doing something for the community. They're doing something for the people. So when they sponsor it, they know that I'm going to do an episode with, local resource so that people know how to get food if they're struggling or if they lose a job, where they can learn how to write a resume and, go to a job fair or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because... Yeah, we can get into that more. I know you can't talk about some stuff that you're doing, but yeah, she has some big things going on,
Yeah. Coming soon. But I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah. Well, Rico, why don't you tell the story about how you started out with House Over Bass?
Got a phone call from
who?
From Jacob Casas. I guess Frank, our mutual friend Frank, had gave you my number, and you. I guess we're gonna have a girl. She does music. So
yeah. I forgot.
Yeah, and then Frank had told you that I manage Lee Santana and his music, and you were like, "Hey, do you want to come on?" And I think you said, I don't know if you said do the show or if I was interested in managing her.
Yeah,
and you shot me your page, but I mean that it kind of didn't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. And then I don't know, it was probably like a month or two later, you had called me again, and you was like, "Hey, do you want to manage like the podcast, because you were trying to just focus on just the podcast stuff, like solely, and not have to worry about like getting the guests and all that stuff, and just because the people I knew and all that stuff." So it went from there, and I came on and did the DNR with brought the 6 girls.
Mm-hmm. That was the wild episode,
right? And that's where it started. And our first exit of a guest was that day.
Yeah, I guess
she walked off. Yeah, I mean,
walked, kicked, kind of at the same time.
Door slammed behind her. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, no, that's how it started, and then you know what I mean. But I believed in it though, so it wasn't like one of those things. Because most of the time I do the club stuff. I don't go to the clubs unless I'm getting paid. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? The whole going out, I'm not going out unless I'm getting paid type thing, or if it's somewhere I can make money.
Yeah.
Money at, but it kind of didn't matter because I seen it, like the vision of it and how you explained it. I don't know if you explained it real good and got me in, but I mean, I felt it, so I wouldn't have did it. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at now.
Well, I just want to say too, when you start a business, you aren't officially a business until you get money from that business. So we are officially a business. House Over Baz
Monetized.
is officially a business. We got, I'm honest with everything I say. We got big bucks in, $2.99 in the account from our first payment for joining our community today. So I don't give a shit, but now we're officially a business, $2.99. That's just one of many that's coming in, but I'm super hyped about it because that money came from somebody else's pocket.
We appreciate it too, by the way.
Yeah, we do. We really appreciate it. That's our first. I took a picture of it and everything because that's our first dollar in our account. And now we're officially a business. I don't consider. I told everybody. I was telling so many people this. We are not a business until we get our first dollar in that account by somebody else. We finally got it. Took a year. So that's what I'm saying. People out there, you got to be like passionate about what you do because it took a year for us to get here.
And consistent.
Yeah, consistency.
Yeah, we film every, so at the past year, every Tuesday, and they started off with one show. And then half of that year, it went from anywhere from 2 shows to 4 shows in a day, every Tuesday. So you do the math. I mean, like if that's not consistent, and then, you know what I mean? And what they say, I mean, consistency beats talent any day. Because you're going to get the outcome's going to come out, sooner or later.
Yeah. And so, look, we're here, and it's hard work. YouTube is not easy. It's so fucking hard, man. But we're here, and
good looking.
There was a lot to do. There was a lot of work involved, a lot of money involved, a lot of basically things that you thought you were doing right and were not, and that you had to figure out. And they don't make it easy on YouTube. You really have to study and figure out what to do. And there's nobody to call. There's nobody to talk to. They do all that. Because they don't want everybody to be a streamer. They don't want everybody to be a YouTuber. So all these people that are doing YouTube, and a lot of them are just doing it for free. So if 8% of YouTubers are monetized, then that just says a lot. So a lot of these people are just doing it for free.
For the fun of it, yeah.
So, I mean, that's great if they want to do that. But I'm not going to be the one to put all this time and money in something and not get it back. So I got $2.99 back, people.
It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. And that was our first day too. So it's almost like a, you know what I mean, like a sign, like, you know what I mean, like we're here for a reason.
Yeah, our first
day, first payment.
So we're going to be starting a community. It's going to be the Howler Network, Howler Community, something like that, and it's going to be all our behind the scenes stuff. So shout out to Brandon Boyd and his team. He's helping me to really understand the whole community thing. But we're going to charge $49.99 a month. That's going to be our first tier. We don't know what we're going to really get into, but there will be a link. We'll share the link. We're going to go all that route. But right now, I'm just letting you know there's going to be a community that you can see behind the scenes stuff. You know, Rico with his Hoochie Daddy shorts. I know everybody wants to see that.
Oh, yeah. They
He
can't see it while he's sitting.
You guys have to subscribe
gotta join.
for that.
Yeah,
Subscribe for that.
It's like he's
a member.
These knees ain't free.
It's like he's a Laker from the 60s right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Without all the hair, without the wolf hair on my legs. Shout out Ricky. What's up, Bree? But yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, no. We're gonna get. Hey, if you guys do 100 likes on the next clip that we do, I will cash app you, and Jacob is gonna have to wear Hoochie Daddy shorts and get ready. I will pay for it.
Shit.
You do it or what?
Hoochie Daddy.
Yep,
They're
Hoochie
gonna
Daddy
do
shorts.
it anyway, so I'm cool with
that.
it because they're gonna do it anyway.
He said He said we won't do it. So next clip, if you
100
got
likes.
100 likes,
Oh, sure.
you're in Hoochie Daddy shorts.
It has to be the same day though, because we get 100 likes like the next day, we'll get more. So it has to be the same day, 100 likes the same day.
All right, how about this? If we get more than 50 followers in the next by the end of the week,
Man, we always get followers. What are you talking
Yeah, that's not
about?
a
You're
good
trying to kill me.
kind of.
No, hell no. We need like a.
Just say 100 likes
100
within
likes.
the first 2 hours. How about
100
that?
likes.
Like 1,000
likes
views
within
off
the
the
first
live.
2 hours.
100 likes
1,000 views
And
off of the live.
Jacob.
We got 1,000 views off of the live.
Off this one?
That's like legit right there. Off of this live, some other live.
So all you got to do is share it on your stories.
Share
and
it on
tag
your
some
stories.
friends so people can watch it.
Man,
and
you
let it
guys,
go.
if you guys do this, I'll be happy anyways. That's 1,000 views on the.
But you're not gonna be happy wearing those.
No. If you how about this? If you guys do, send on the Instagram, DM the short emojis, if we get 100 DMs of the short emojis, you gotta put them on.
Neckbone's watching. What's up, Neckbone?
He's probably half drunk right now, probably something.
We got a lot of people watching right now. Oh, the Love Connection. Shout out to the Love Connection. I don't know. Oh, Darren's watching. Darren Campbell.
I Love Connection.
Oh, Classy. I know Classy's watching too.
Does anybody want to go live with us right now on Instagram?
Yeah, ask them. You guys can ask questions.
If anybody wants to go live on Instagram right now, just tap that button. But
So why don't you give a little story about how we met, Jessica?
We met here.
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
That's so sweet. So I came in and you interviewed me, and then do you want me to like?
No. Wait, hold on. Don't break eye contact. Look at her eyes.
I won't break
Look
eye
at her
contact.
eyes. Don't break eye contact, Jessica.
Shut up.
Go ahead. Now, how'd you do it?
I don't get shy, so I'm straight.
I'm not shy. I
How
just
did it
don't know
happen?
what you want me to say.
No, just
How
say
you guys
it.
met?
We met here.
And what else?
What else? What, do you
What else,
mean?
Jessica?
Shut up.
Why is she blushing?
We met here, and you offered to
Was it
help
love
me.
at first sight?
No,
Oh,
it
was
was
it?
not love at first sight.
What did he say, SpongeBob? 2 weeks later. It was 2
No,
weeks later.
so you offered to help me with my campaign, and
Brr, 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 brr.
yeah, he was trying to get in, you know.
Trying to be supportive. He's trying to get in the White
I was
House.
like, oh,
He was trying to get in the
she's
White
gonna be
House, huh?
Mayor, I want to be with her.
I was like, they get the keys to the city.
I'm dead.
And yeah, and then we went out. He went out with me to not like that. We went out door knocking because that's part of campaigning when you're running for any
remember
type
you
of
told me
elected
about that.
office. So we went door knocking because apparently my competitor had gone in my neighborhood and had a bunch of signs up. So I told him I need somebody to go with me because I don't want to go alone. The last time I went, I had a stalker. And
shit.
so, yeah, so I was very nervous about, going out by myself. So he offered his help, and we went door knocking, and we realized that we had a lot in common, and we were both really strong and go-getters. And then we went and had dinner, and we talked, and then... Jacob, why don't you finish the story from there?
I've listened. Now it's your turn.
No, I just told you. Now you have to finish.
What's
it.
your point of view of the story? How did y'all really meet? That's her version. What's your version?
So like she came over here. She was riding on a white horse. She rode out here on a white horse.
A bullshit.
We're like,
it was
like,
a yellow
it was like
horse.
A princess.
Yeah,
It was yellow.
my
It was yellow.
Z.
A princess gown, and she was like.
And then he
I
woke
love
up.
that.
And I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
I was just a lowly servant, just like
Not the whoa.
I was just a wolf sitting right there watching her. Like she was.
I was the prey.
She was the prey, and that was it. I had to I started hunting from there. I was
So now you
saw
guys.
the she-wolf, that's what you
So
saw.
are you guys like a pack now, or what? Or like, did you like what is it? What was it on the movie with the wolves and the vampires? What is it? Did you impact on her?
the
No.
wolves and the vampire.
The
Twilight.
Oh, Twilight.
No, but the wolf doesn't win in that movie. So
But he's
a vampire?
but he's the wolf. But so did you like imprint on her? So
I
like
imprinted on her.
So you're
We're
imprinted.
imprinted now.
oh God, Mom,
She can't go nowhere now.
Can't go
don't
nowhere.
watch this. No, I don't know where this is going.
Hey, that's crazy. Hey, you know what's crazy though? So the wolf in Twilight, his name was Jacob.
Yeah, he is Jacob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's meant to be. I just want to be in the wedding. I'm there for the food and you know what I mean, good
He
time.
said,
You know what I mean? As long as I can be best man and I get good food.
Hey,
that's
you
all I
wear
want.
Hoochie Daddy shorts though?
With the tuxedo.
With the tuxedo
Yeah,
going?
we gotta figure
There
it
it
out.
is.
Okay, maybe for the reception, not for the you know. What color would you wear?
I'm going to wear black on black. Not just
What
playing.
color? So in your dream wedding, what color would it be?
I wear.
No, like for you what you know what I mean the concept for the wedding. Like,
Oh,
so
the colors.
The color,
like,
yeah. the color.
Probably like my favorite color is blue, and
So you have all your bridesmaids wear blue or a certain type of blue?
Look at you, put you on the spot. Look at
I'm just wondering.
I'm like,
I'm curious.
I don't. Yeah, I didn't.
You don't
think
believe in
about
marriage
that.
or something or what?
No. I mean, no. I didn't say
She's
no.
getting
I
married.
don't believe in marriage.
Yeah, what the heck?
Rico, stop.
She's
See,
sweating and
Rico's
shit.
such
Full of
an
palms. Full of palms.
instant.
Full of palms.
Oh my gosh.
She's sweating. Oh, she is sweating. Because you got her sweating.
I was saying.
All right, let me stop.
Anyways, so yeah, blue, it'll be fine.
Blue.
So then what happened, Jessica?
And then, I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Go ahead. Put me on
So
the
this
spot.
guy was like, "You're the one.
You're the one.
You're the one.
You're the one.
There's no doubt in my mind."
There's no doubt in my mind.
Our first date,
Yeah.
he said that to
Oh,
me.
see that? Look at that. I
And-
go, you're just the one. I can just tell you're the one. You're the one. And,
And I was like, you
And it
need
was
to
it.
slow down a
And then-
lot.
and then
what
What did
happened?
I tell you? I told you need to slow down.
and then you grabbed my hand.
He don't have any brakes.
No, you grabbed my hand. And it was probably sweating because you made me nervous because I don't just hold
No,
hands.
he does that
or-
awkward shit. He's done it on a couple shows where he had tell like a couple like, "Hey,
Look at each other's eyes.
don't break eye contact." And I'm breaking eye contact.
Now,
I'm
that's
like
why,
this. I'm
that's
like,
why you're trying to get us to do that.
I learned
Make
from him. That's
make
what I
him
learned from. Yeah.
a little uncomfortable.
But I don't get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'm not uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable
No,
gets
he
me.
doesn't.
I'll make you guys uncomfortable answering your guys' questions. I'll answer your guys' questions, and then you guys will start getting uncomfortable.
Let's talk about the diesel. Fix the diesel. I think
Let's do it.
We need to promote that more.
Yeah.
So,
I think this shit is dope
Fix
here.
It Diesel is my company. I don't talk about it like hardly ever.
Ever, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Not even out. Like I wouldn't even. I don't push. I didn't even push my business on anything, you know. But I own Fix It Diesel. I've had it for almost 10 years now. It's we work on all big rigs and fire trucks and machines, and so we are fire technicians. We're licensed fire technicians. We work mostly on like all the big equipment, like rigs, and we have a lot of big accounts. Coca-Cola, we haven't had them in a while, but Coca-Cola, we even work on the dealerships. So for Freightliner, West Trucks, all the big dogs. But we've been here 10 years, and we're mobile as well. So yeah, we're still here,
If you have
alive
a
and
diesel
kicking.
truck,
Bring it in.
RV, anything.
RV, yeah.
Right.
RVs we make the most money on. I love that because RVs are like the toughest to work on. We even do roofs of the RVs. So for the ACs, all that stuff's connected over there. We do all that.
Have you been seeing recently? Like a lot of people are starting to do like the live-in van thing, or like RVs
yeah,
and
what
traveling.
do they call them? The
Traveler, yeah.
but there's a name for it, like a. Oh my God, I
the
can't
name?
think of it.
I don't know.
We
I've
even
been
do
seeing
Van
like-
life, the van life, or
yeah,
something
like
that.
people
really?
like yeah,
Because,
like
well, we get bus. We had 2 school buses in
people
here.
are converting
they
shit like that
convert
into
their school buses into their house.
Like an
Yeah.
like a
I've
house.
been seeing it lately.
That's so cool.
and
I
we
think
had
that's
2 of them in here. What was in here
Yeah.
during the time we were doing the podcast?
you should have told me that. I follow like three people I follow who do that. 2 of them are
build them
girls.
out? Yeah.
They one of them she did it was like an old school, like one of the old school like 50 buses, and she converted it into a living home. And then another one was it was a van. It was a van, but it was like a pretty big van. One of the Scooby Doo vans.
Oh yeah.
She converted it into like a living quarter and shit. Like, but you guys do like big vans and stuff like that too, or is it
Yeah,
just
we like convert them. You mean?
no like fix them?
Oh yeah, we fix them. We fix all that stuff. So that we have school buses that come over here. We're fixing those, and RVs, rigs, like literally everything. We even work on the huge their generators for West Trucks, Western Express, all these different companies where they have massive generators because they use them like for the free when they're doing work on the freeways. They gotta have these huge generators. We've built like
with the lights. With the lights, you talking about those ones? Those big
yeah,
ass things?
huge
Yeah.
ones. They're like as big as a truck, and we're doing the engine rebuilds on them and everything because they thrash those things. So when you do rebuilds on them, you gotta like hone them. So like that means like they're so damaged that you gotta bring like a machinist to come in, and he has to re-hone the whole engine. It's like redo the top of it.
Yeah, and I want to mention why I choose Fix It Diesel because they work fast, they do the job right, and you'll get to meet Jacob.
And we're your sharpest tool in the shed.
Yeah, there you go, I like that.
That's our
a
slogan. We're your sharpest tool in the shed over here.
But you used to do it though. You used to be the
Yeah, I
the
used to
person with the
ranch.
tool in their hands before you were the owner. Like
I did it for like 17 years.
that shit wasn't given. You earned it, huh?
Yeah, I did it for like 17 years. I
But
ranched.
that's a great example of like how you took like you're working for somebody else, doing that, and then you like said, hey, you know what? No, I learned it. Now I'm gonna do it for myself. right?
Yeah, well, what ended up happening is I used to do plumbing with my stepdad, and I always had to work hard from junior high, mostly because I was a troublemaker, and I would get in so much trouble. During summertime, my mom would make me go with my stepdad to work, and he had me under houses, literally doing the worst kind of jobs. Like, I'm not even joking.
Well, you're dealing with
piss
shit.
and shit.
I can only imagine.
He would make me put like the piping back up and rebuild everything, but it was literally underneath where piss and shit is like going down my sleeves in my arms.
Oh God, that's
like
so
that's,
gross.
and I was in junior high doing this shit.
Yeah.
He's like, "Get it done," and back then it was different. So he's over there popping a 24-ounce count of Budweiser, drinking, watching me do this, and I'm like, "Alfred, I'm gonna kill you."
Not Alfred.
And he's like, "Oh, it's cool, man. I'm gonna get you good lunch." And he like take me somewhere to get like, I would get paid literally $20 a week, and I'd be working my ass off, digging major holes.
So $20 and a good meal.
He gave me like $20, like swear to God, $20 a week, and I was like, this guy got me, man. When I was a kid, I thought $20 was the shit, though. You know what I mean? But I was busting my ass for it.
But you learned a lot too. That's
For sure.
probably
I learned
where
a
your
lot.
like, solid work ethic came
Yeah.
from, because at a young age you were learning that work is not easy and you just
Yeah.
got to get the job done, right?
Yeah. So then I got into mechanics when I was like 23, and because I just hated the plumbing game. First of all, I didn't make good money in it because yes, when I was younger I had money because I was the only one like with a job, considered with my friends, and a good trade. So, but when I got older, I was like, because family doesn't, he wasn't paying me good. I'm not going to get into that, but whatever the case is, I wasn't getting paid good. So I ended up going and getting into mechanics, and I started working as a lube tech at the shop, and I would just basically change the oil on all the rigs. So when I started doing that, I started learning more about it. I hated it. I'm going to tell you straight out, I hated that job. I hated doing that. I was getting dirty every single day. It was hard work. In summertime, the engine's running, so it's so hot. So you're double sweating. Like it's like you're in a sauna. I was just like exhausted. I was doing MMA at the time, like really hardcore. So I would come from there already sweating at the gym, go straight into there, not shower or nothing, because I went straight from the gym to there, and I started doing that. So then I ended up getting my brother into it. My brother is a really good technician. To this day, he's like one of the best technicians that I've ever seen right now. He runs circles around so many people. So shout out to my brother Mike. You're still gay, Mike. But yeah. So yeah, he watches a lot of episodes. So but hey, no, but he's kick-ass tech. He's a kick-ass tech. And so he started working with me over there. We worked at a couple places together. And then I kind of started doing my own thing. He started doing his own thing. We went to different shops. Then I started working for another company, and I was a service manager. I was making really good money there. As that was my first time. Well, it was my second time being a service manager, but I was making really good money. So I told my brother, because he said I can hire somebody, so I hired my brother. Mm-hmm. And when he came in, my brother he loves this job. Like he loves it so much. He wanted to be like the best technician ever. Like he just loves it.
He wanted to master it.
So yeah, he wanted to master it. That's the best way to describe
Master wrench.
He wanted to master it. So he just got so good at it. And me, I didn't give a damn. I just wanted to get the hell out of there. At this time I just started having my kids, so I had 2 kids and all that. I just wanted to go home. And I hated the job. I didn't want to do this shit. It was dirty. I just was sick of it, And he started doing side jobs because he knows how my mind worked. He even told me this. He kept trying to get me to go do side jobs with him, and I wouldn't go do it. I'm like, I ain't doing that shit. I'm going home, man. Like, I ain't doing that. And he's like, come on, just come do it. I can make good money. You can make good money doing it. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. So then he came to me one time. He's like, hey, Jake, I made like $1,000. So I'm going to go to Vegas. I go, how'd you make $1,000? So I made it doing the side job. I did a side job this weekend, and I made $1,000. I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah. I've been telling you to come do this. And I'm like, he's all, I'm all, let me see what's up. So I started putting ads up on Craigslist, and we started getting jobs. So I would start making like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 on the weekend, just as out of the weekend. Me and my brother, and I would
on cars or big rigs.
On rigs.
Yeah.
So he's like seeing that I kept checking the Craigslist, and I kept seeing guys would hit us up, and so we'd get jobs. And we had a friend named Joe, and he had a pretty big yard, so we would take the trucks to his yard and work on them in there. And Joe kind of taught us the trade a little bit of how to charge and things like that. And he was really cool on that. Shout out to Joe, man. Like, really, I don't think me and Mike would have not gotten far without Joe. We almost, so much has happened, man. So first, I'm going to stay with this. So me and my brother were doing that. We were working really hard doing that, and I see all this money. My brother goes, damn, see, I knew if you got involved, you would turn it into something. He goes, you keep getting jobs now. Like, we keep getting jobs on Craigslist over and over and over. I started learning, like, the ways of fucking with Craigslist to, like, keep reposting, keep doing this, do different things to get jobs in. I kept bringing jobs in. So then my boss was kind of a prick. He was an older guy. So me and my brother were like so concentrated. We were so slow at that shop because when we went in there, that shop was completely like just shit. All the trucks were crappy, everything. Me and my brother cleaned that whole place up after a year. Like every truck in there was fixed. We fixed everything. So all of us was maintenance after that. And then they didn't ever want to do the maintenance on time because they wanted to keep the truck running. Yeah. And I can't say no to the owner. I was literally working right under the owner. So how I am is I knew if I work under the owner, I'm thinking I could run this place one day. Yeah. So I'm trying to, and I'm learning all these different things, and I'm learning how to basically own a shop because I keep talking to him. Well, it was his own fleet though, right? So it wasn't like he was working on trucks that were outside.
Like other people. It wasn't customers. It was his own.
Yeah. So we transformed that shop into something completely different. Me and my brother cleaned it out, made it look so dope in there, and I told his name was Larry. Shout out to Larry.
I was going to say shout out to Larry.
Fuck you too, Larry, at the same time.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah, I'll say thank you to you at the same time. Yeah. So he told me he taught me how to run a shop, basically, right? So what I wanted to do is I tried to talk to him about bringing in trucks and charging them. So why don't we do that? Because I already had this rolling. Yeah. And he didn't want to. He was like, no, we're not doing that. And I was like, damn, he shut me down so quick, too. And I thought, I'm a good talker. I can convince him, and he'll get money off of this. Why would he not do it, you know? Nah, he was not. He was an older guy, stuck in his ways. He doesn't care about making more money. He just cares about keeping the business where it's at. That's it. Yeah. No more, no less, nothing. So I was like,
comfort zone. He was in the comfort zone. He was content.
So I was upset. Like, damn, man. So then I told my brother, you know what? Let's make this a business. So we started. My brother, he goes, hey, I found this shop down the street. It was like this little tiny place, right? And he goes, let's talk to them. I want to see how much they'll charge, and maybe we can get it. I'm like, all right, let's check it out. They were charging like, I think, $1,500 a month. During that time, you know, I was like, man, he's like, we can just split it. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it.
And this is like 10 years ago.
This is 10 years ago. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's do it, man. So we ended up, no, it's a little over 10 years now, but yeah, a little over 10 years. So then we go ahead and do that. And then before that happened, Larry had a service truck that he wanted to buy a brand new one. So he told me, so my brother's like, hey, can I take that truck? He's like, you can have it. So he gives it to him. He gives it to him with the compressor and everything. You need a compressor to be able to work with the air on the road and all that stuff. So he gave it to him. So basically a fully functioning truck that you can use for being a diesel tech. So he gave it to him, and so now we were working out of that truck. We loaded that thing up. We had all our tools in there. We were doing a bunch of shit. Well, Larry ended up finding out that we were doing that, and he just got jealous. There was no reason for him to fire us. So we walk in one day. He hired another guy, and I was like, what the fuck? Why did he hire another guy? I hired the guys. Mm-hmm. So it was weird. Mm-hmm. So I was like, this is
You already knew something was up.
I already knew something was up. But I had 2 kids, and to me, I don't care what anybody says, that shit was scary as fuck. Mm-hmm. Losing a good job like that. So I'm like something's fishy, but I was still trying to do my best there. Mm-hmm. And then he calls me and my brother in, and he gives us 2 papers, and it has Fix It Diesel's names on there. And we just started it, and he says, "I'm firing you guys. You guys have another business." I'm like, "Well, why are you firing us?" He's like, "Because you guys have another business." I'm like, "What does that matter? We do it after work."
Yeah.
And he's like, "It doesn't." He's like, "I don't want to talk about it. You guys are fired." And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like freaking out at the time. I was like, what? My brother goes, Larry, don't fire him. Just fire me. He has 2 kids. Don't fire him. Just fire me. And he's like, no, I'm firing both of you. And I'm like, Larry, why are you firing me? I was really like upset. Like, why are you firing me? This has nothing to do with you. Why would you be upset about this? And he still was like, no, I'm firing you. So then I stand up. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, man. You fucking old piece. I start going off on him. You ain't shit. Fuck you. And Mike's like, calm down. I was like, no, fuck you. And I signed this shit, and I threw the papers off the table.
I could see you
Fucking
doing that.
bitch, you ain't shit.
I could
Fire
see
me
you doing
with
that.
2 kids. You fucking. I was going off on him, man. I was so pissed. I wanted to just punch him in the face. To be honest, I was so mad. Like,
But wait,
I looked,
say something. Redirection is, what is that saying? Like redirection is a new direction. Or something like that. Have you ever heard that? Or wait, no, I'm saying rejection is a new direction or something like that. Have you heard that? Like sometimes in that moment you're like, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
But what it's coming down to is
needed
you
to happen.
probably wouldn't have left.
I wouldn't
And
have.
you would have never
still been
left.
there.
You would have never started your business. You'd probably still be working for Larry.
Yeah.
And you'd still have all these great ideas. But it was that push. And even that, and then that anger behind it too. It fuels you to do better, to make something happen, right? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
that's literally what happened. So I was so mad. I wanted to strangle him, and I was like, I can't believe this. But then I'm like upset too. Now I got to go home and talk to the person I was with at the time, and I have my kids there, and I'm like freaking out now. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do now? And so then I get in the car, and Mike's like. Mike's scared. He's only scared for me. He's not even scared for himself. He's all, Jacob, I can get another job. I don't care. He's all, but I know this is like a good paying job for you. So I'm like, fuck, man. Like, what am I gonna do now? And I look at my brother. We're sitting in my truck, and he's just like waiting on me. Like, and I'm just like, I don't know, Mike. Like, I really think we can do this. Like, we can make this something. And he's all telling me, Jacob, I'm down for whatever you want to do. You make the call and I'll do it with you. If you're going to get another job, go ahead. If you want to do this, I'm right here with you. I have no kids. I'm down for this shit. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I go, fuck it, let's do it. And he was like, yes, right? So, but it was the hardest time of my fucking life, man. Because I had to make a certain amount of money every week. We were running up and down the Cajon Pass, just driving up and down at 4 o'clock in the morning. And when we always saw a truck broke down, we would roll up on them. And it's illegal to do this too. So we'd roll up on them and be like, "Hey, we just fixed the truck up here. We saw you broke down. Do you need help?" And I would convince them to let me help them, and we would pull off the part, and then like go ahead and go get the part. And I would have them pay me before we finished the job. And Mike's like, how do you convince them to do that? How do you keep doing that? Because I would just talk them into it. Like, I would keep doing it. But to me, I had no fucking choice. I wasn't a good salesperson at the time. Though.
No?
I was probably good at convincing back. I've always felt like I've been pretty good at that. But I was like, it was either like sink or swim. Like,
You had no other option.
I had kids at home. I need to feed them, I have rent. I have all that stuff. So I'm like, I would just keep talking to him. I'm like, it was like life or death for me. Like, you got to let me fix this shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they would pay me. And my brother's like, how'd you do that? He's more calm about it all because he's fine. He's living with some chick. He's cool. But he was still going through it with me. He was still like, damn, we got to make money, Yeah. And then I started going to accounts and finding accounts. And then I remember when I first got my first account. My brother's like, why? But why? Why would they even use us? I'm like, fool, you got to walk in there like letting them think that you're the biggest shop in the world.
Fake it before you make it, right?
Yeah.
They say that.
Yeah, so I'd walk in there like that and, make it seem like we have a bunch of technicians and we just kept rolling. Yeah. There's so much to the story, man, but even how I got in this shop, but that's like the basics of that, That story goes on forever. Like, there's so much that happened.
Forever.
Shit, that shit was wild. That shit was so wild. But yeah, but we're here and we're still live and kicking, and it's still hard. So don't get me wrong, it's still hard as fuck, man. I'm still putting in that work, Yeah. But I'm not gonna stop. It's like this. I feel like you're gonna work. You're gonna put in the work for somebody else or yourself, anyways. When you live check to check, I feel like that's worse.
Yeah.
Like, at least okay, I can make more money if I go put in some work right now. I can make more money. And I'll be honest with you, I'm really banking on this podcast. I'm putting everything I have into this thing because I really believe podcasts are the biggest form of sales for any business. I think this is number one. I think this is going to do something. Mm-hmm. And I'm planning on blowing this shit up like to a whole nother level. And I want to do something different with it that nobody's done. I have so many different ideas, and now that we're monetized, I'm going to start shooting all this shit out. You guys are going to think I'm fucking crazy for some of the ideas I have for this shit.
No, he is crazy.
But I'm going to do it. We're going to do this shit. We got Diamond Studios over here. We can always depend on them all the fucking time. They always come through.
Diamond Studios is on our side.
You got a jingle now.
I know. So what do you want out of this podcast? Like legit, 100%. What do you want out of this podcast? I know what you want out of this podcast.
Shut the hell up.
What does he want? Jacob,
You
just
something
say-
stupid, probably. No.
More hoochie daddy shorts.
Yeah, I want this to make money, so I can buy more shorts. No, just
He wants a spinning chain. He wants
a spinner, the old school. On one of your old school albums to come out.
Shut the fuck up. This motherfucker.
But yeah, not just to put me in a position to take care of the people I have around me. You know what I mean, as far as family and everybody. To put me in a position where I'm comfortable and I'm loving what I do, and when I'm waking up, it's not something that I'm dreading to do, or like you said, like paycheck to paycheck. To put me in a position to be happier. I'm happy right now. I mean, right, but I want to be in a position where everybody else around me is happy, and then that's what makes me happy.
So they say it's joy. And
Joy? Not happy?
Yeah, rather than being happy, you have joy, and joy is like what's the ultimate like happiness in a sense. Like nobody can take it away from you when you have joy.
Right, and that too. I want something that's mine. Well, not just mine, but ours. Like something that I want to say I
Nobody
built.
can take from you.
Yeah, that I built something. So I mean, that's the difference between any other thing that I'm doing right now, as far as the businesses that I have. I mean, at any moment, yeah, I'm doing it by myself, but I mean, I'm still doing it because of somebody else. You know what I mean? Like, but this is.
What do you want? Okay, what do you want to see this podcast do? Like, what do you want to see out of it creatively? Where do you see this going, and what do you want to? What do you have ideas that you want to do creatively?
I want it to be where people can say like, what they're doing, I've never seen it done before, and what they do is taking it to another level that I've never seen, are putting people in positions that other podcasts aren't doing. You know what I mean? Organically, because a lot of this shit is made up and scripted, and you know what I mean. And they're not, and they're just talking about like the funny side of it.
Let him cook.
You know what I mean? So you're talking about like you're not having a job and you got 2 kids. How many people doing podcasts are saying the bad side of it? You know what I mean? It's just all about, you know what I mean, the glitz and glamour. But I want it to be where, you know what I mean, where they're like, they're doing some shit that's different. And they did it the right way. You know what I mean? And you can't, and numbers don't lie. Yeah. So far, we've been doing this shit the right way, and the numbers have been showing it. So,
yeah, I want to touch on what he said, too, because a lot of people we know, a lot of people are scripting this. This is like, you're watching fake-ass shit. There is nothing about our podcast that's fake. It is all real shit. Like, we have not scripted anything. We are not going to. The raw is the best. Honestly, like, how we do this, like, it's just entertaining to us. Like, we're bringing people in here, and if we feel, I mean, we've had some boring people in here. I'm not gonna lie, we had a few boring people in here, but what I'm trying to do is find something out of them and bring it out, and because everybody, I really think everybody has some type of flair in them, but they just someone has to bring it out, or you gotta find it and just help them bring it out. So that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I remember being in here, and I had a couple guys in here. One dude in here in particular, I keep thinking, I'm not going to say his name, but, you know, one guy in particular, I was like, this guy's boring as shit, I'm thinking the whole time. And I'm just looking, I'm analyzing him, like how you analyze me all the time, you know, different things.
that's called analyzing.
But you know how when you analyze things, I was looking at him, he was right here, I was just
Get your foot off me. That's not my get your foot off me. Trying to analyze her. But yeah.
So I started analyzing this guy, and I'm like, nah, he has a story. He has a story for real. Everybody does. So I started digging in him, like just kept digging in him.
Got it out.
And then he started talking about some really like stuff that happened to him, and I was like, oh shit. It ended up being one of the best episodes after that. Yeah. I was like, wow, this guy had some hard times, and he was choking up, like, oh shit. But he kept it all together. But you can see, like, him saying it choked him up. Yeah. And I was like, damn, there it is. And that's when I kind of figured, like, what my job was here. I was like, all right, so I'm gonna dig into these people and really bring out something that's in them. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I didn't really do that before. I didn't do that. I didn't give a fuck about that, you know. A lot of people I feel like are kind of like into their own head and what they want and what they believe and all that. This podcast is actually helping.
We listen to people.
Yeah, and I never did that.
We
shit.
listen to. You know,
I'll be honest, I never did that shit.
The guys panel, that shit was deep.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. From guys that are literally saying is to the point of committing suicide, and they're not telling anybody else.
You guys did that episode?
Yeah.
Well, men, you guys feel like you can't be emotional. You have to be super strong or you're weak. And, but the truth is men's mental health is just as important as anybody else's. And men should be, feel
but
able
nowadays
to open up and talk. And, I don't like the stigma of like how, men are treated when it comes to feelings and emotions. And that's why a lot of men end up like men with families commit suicide because they have nobody to talk to or they feel like they don't. Mm-hmm. But everybody has somebody to talk to, right?
You just have to feel comfortable enough to talk to somebody else about it.
We have to realize we have to make it okay. Like it is okay. It's always been okay. It's
it's big.
I mean, I'll
we had a whole podcast
like
about
the
it.
propaganda of the world making us believe one thing, social media making you believe certain things. No, but I love that you guys did that. I didn't see that.
We had 3 men's panels already.
Yeah,
really? We did a lot of shit. So like the men's panel, like I realized, like honestly, the podcast has helped me because I never talked about shit. I was more like fuck it, let's get drunk and act stupid. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of how I feel like a lot of my friends deal with their problems. Like just get drunk. Fuck this.
Most of the time I was
it numbs the pain and it makes you forget about it for a while. But
if I didn't have this podcast, I'd probably still be drinking.
No, you would be. You would be because you stopped because you seen the purpose in it, and you didn't. I don't want to say you didn't have a purpose before the podcast, but you seen something that was bigger than you. You know what I mean? Than what you were already doing, and I think that's why you stopped it. Because at the end of the day, with anybody who has an addiction or whatever you're doing, anybody can tell you to stop, but you have to want to. Yeah, and it has to be a reason why. Yeah, you found whatever it was. I don't know. You found a why to stop. And you might not even know it, but I mean, you're gonna figure it out one day if you don't know it. But you had a why to stop, and it's a good, you know what I mean. And it was for a reason.
Yeah, I actually stopped drinking about 1.5 years ago myself, and I was always like out and about. I mean, my cousin Daniel's son, so like he owns a bar, and I just like I don't know. One day it just hit me, and I'm like, I don't want to live this life anymore. Yeah. I'm like, I'm better, like, this is how I feel. And, like, whoever drinks, to each his own. But I felt like I was better than that. I'm not meant to be that loud, drunk girl, it's knocking over drinks and, like, that was never supposed to be me. And I knew that since I was younger, but I lost my way because I was on my own for so long.
Yeah,
and,
happens.
I was telling him that I went out a lot because I don't want to go home and be alone.
Yeah, that's when you start thinking and shit. That's when it gets to you.
Yeah, and so it was a lot easier. I mean, when you drink, you don't think about anything really important. So, it makes life seem a lot easier. But when you wake up from it, it's not.
It's right back.
And I feel so much better now. I feel so much more clear-minded. I feel like I've accomplished a lot more in just the past year and a half. From just cutting that out, so it's a really good feeling, and I do feel like I have a stronger connection with God as well.
Yeah, for
which
sure.
Which is really important to me.
But everybody, like I said, has to find that, or something has to happen. Unfortunately, like I'm Christian, so I believe in a lot of stuff like that. And they say the wages of sin is death. So until you sometimes you might get that why, that might be too late before you get that calling, because everybody, how you said, you're more than that. Everybody has that. You're more than that inside of them. It's just when they tap in, is it going to be too late? Are they going to be able to tap in? Is it going to be too late before they, you know what I mean? Before something bad happens.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? It could take a podcast for somebody to stop. It could take, I finally see that in myself for it to stop. Sometimes somebody could OD and then next they don't get that chance.
Yeah, they don't get that chance.
So,
right.
You know what I mean? It's a good thing that you stopped and that you did, because you got mayor.
Yeah, I know, and that's what happened. All of a sudden, like, things started changing.
You know what I mean?
And it wasn't like I was, like, drunk at the bar every night, or, you know what I mean?
It was enough,
but it was like, my last situation was I was in Vegas. I do cigar stuff, and I was in Vegas, and they had an open bar, and I'm Stogie chick, right? So everybody was like, hey, shots, and I drink way too much, and I ended up
spilling something on my favorite jacket. I know, so stupid, but it was my favorite jacket. And, you know, I looked at that and I was like, dang, if I wasn't drinking, I would have never messed up my jacket. And is this me? Is this who I am? Like, that was sloppy. I'm like, I'm not a sloppy person, right? And then it just kind of like, right from that moment, I even like that next morning I talked to my mom and I was like, I think I'm done drinking, you know? I think that, you know, and don't get me wrong, like once in a while, you know, like the other day.
No, you're not perfect. You can have a drink.
You know, we had like a beer with the brewery, you know, but it's different. It's definitely different.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you're thinking about, you know,
changing up
changing,
like, I think a lot of people don't do it because they don't want to lose friends.
Yeah, and that's
the
thing,
big part.
You
and
will lose a lot.
They don't want to lose a lot of friends
because all of a sudden you realize that there's people around you that just want to be around you because you are drinking. You're down to drink with them, and unfortunately, you know, it's almost like misery loves company kind of thing. If they're hurting, then you're hurting. We can just hurt together and drink and get over it, right? Together.
If they're not telling you that you're fucking up, they're not your friend. I've told him plenty of times. He's like, you know what, I'm drinking today, and right before he says I'm playing, I'm already like, no, you're not. But he's already ready. I know he's not serious, but I wouldn't let him do it though. Even if he really wanted to, I'm like, I would literally have an argument with him, like, bro, you can't do it like this long.
I'll be all, bah, bah!
Right.
I just say,
you know what I mean? Like, you made it this far just to make it this far, and it's not, you know what I mean? Like, so like, if you have friends that aren't willing to tell you that you're a fuck up, they're not your friends, bro. Like, at the end of the day, it's almost like, you know what I mean? A crackhead giving a crackhead advice, like. What's gonna happen? Like, nothing's gonna happen between you two. You guys both are gonna be just crackheads wandering on fucking earth. Like, it's not gonna happen. Like,
so what do you want to see out of this podcast? Because it is what it is. Like this is the host right here. So it might not be all of us all the time. It might be one of us, two of us, three of us. I mean, but the show's gonna go on every Tuesday, no matter what. And these are the people we're gonna be bringing in. So what would you want to see out of this podcast?
I want to see you hit 1 million subscribers, you know, 1 billion views. Let this, you know, whatever your heart wants it to be, like, I'm going to put my energy into that to make sure that happens. And I know it's a great podcast. I know, you know, I wouldn't when you invite me to be here, I wouldn't say yes if I didn't believe in it too, you know. So I really believe in you guys and your team and everything. And you know, I just want to, I mean, obviously we're like together, so it's like, I want your dreams to come true, right? And if I can be any part of that to help that happen, then I'm going to be there to like help you and support you. And, you know, yeah, so I just, shut up. Oh my God.
Look at Shotty's loving it over here.
If you like it, then put a ring on it.
The thing is, I don't get embarrassed. Like, I'll just stand straight out. It's
what's your ring size again? What'd you say earlier? What'd you say? I don't know.
5.75.
Gotta write that down.
And blue.
And blue.
Yeah, this was a good one. This was a good one. But yeah, no, like you said, this is gonna, like you said, the show goes on no matter what. This is what it's gonna be, like, consistency. So, like you said, it's going to be either you, her, him, or everybody. But at the end of the day, like, we all want the same thing and we all have the same goal. So, it's going to work. And it's thankful to you guys that we got monetized. And shit, the first day we got monetized, we got paid. Shit. How many people can say that?
We need more, you know, more members. And we're going to make sure that you guys have, you know, different, you know, like incentives to be a member. Like,
for merch,
behind the scenes stuff is going to be funny. I'm pretty sure it'll be wild and funny. So you guys want to tune into that.
We'll be real stupid for you guys.
We're gonna start doing some straight interviews, food places. Yeah. You know what I mean, with House and stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I already do that, so we could tie in my stuff with that.
There's a lot we could do. There's a lot. There's going to be a lot going on.
And one of the things also, I have to throw this in there. I'm a world traveler, and so I would love for us to go and shoot from different places. So I was in El Salvador a couple weeks ago, and I wanted you to go. So my idea was that you would go with me, and I was going to talk to Shadi and ask him if we could take some of this equipment with us and shoot from El Salvador, and we could do a Zoom with whoever's we're interviewing, you know what I mean? But that would be
So cool.
Film on the beach
I
type
love
shit.
that. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I'm
Well, it
down
is my
for that.
birthday, so I think we should fight somewhere soon.
Oh yeah, it was mine and Rico's birthday.
Oh yeah, shout out to everybody that showed us love.
Yeah.
But it's still our birthday.
birthday
It's still,
to
it's
us.
still tourist season. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
It's the last day. Is it the last day? Of
The
tourist?
20th, May 20th. We still got a whole month.
No, it's the 30th, right?
It's May 20th.
It's from the 22nd to the 21st
Oh,
of
yeah,
June.
yeah.
So it's still our
towards- yeah.
birthdays.
Yep,
Happy
Taurus.
birthday to you guys.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Happy birthday, sister.
Sister.
Nah, but yeah. Yeah, but yeah.
We appreciate everybody for watching. So if you guys can go like this video and subscribe and share,
Comment.
please share.
On YouTube, show us love. Show us love.
People aren't going to share a lot of the stuff that we talk about. I feel like, so I feel like the people that do watch just share the heck out of this stuff.
From Instagram to YouTube, we interact with, and we interact with you guys too. We write back. We don't just like see the shit and not take heed to it. We appreciate it and we comment back. We DM back. Even if you guys want to come on and you guys know somebody who has a good a business that's thriving or some entrepreneur, right? Good stories. Let us know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't shy away from anybody, and we love our followers and people who like us. So
And become a member.
right.
Yes, become a member. There's 3 tiers. You can see it right there on YouTube. So go check us out.
And we will be having merch soon. You know what I mean, for you guys too.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody watching. You're going to see a lot more out of this. A lot. I have a lot of ideas, and I feel like the people we have here has a lot of ideas, and who knows what's going to happen. But I know that there's going to be a lot bigger things going on with House Over Bass now. So just stay tuned, and you can catch us here every Tuesday at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock. We might sometime have another show before then, but we're always going to have a 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock show no matter what. So stay tuned and shed the sheep.
Shed the sheep.
Everybody shed the sheep.
Shed the sheep.
Oh.
Ow.
House Over Baz. I'm Jacob Casas.
I'm Rico Savage.
I'm Jessica Q.
And don't forget to like and subscribe. Shed the sheep, and we're out.